A warm welcome to the International Tourism Studies Association and the International Journal of Tourism Cities. I am Alistair Morrison, a research professor at the University of Greenwich in London, and I serve as the Vice President of the International Tourism Studies Association and the co-editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Tourism Cities. By way of an introduction of ITSA and IJTC, ITSA was founded on the 15th of August 2006 in Hangzhou, China. It's registered in the UK as a charitable unincorporated association. We have held biennial conferences in 10 locations from 2006 to 2024, and the most recent of these conferences was in September 2024 in Riga, Latvia, the 10th ITSA Biennial Conference. ITSA is a membership organization of top scholars, researchers, and practitioners in tourism and hospitality. The International Journal of Tourism Cities, or IJTC as we call it, is owned by ITSA and began publishing in 2015. The objective of ITSA is rather unique, and it was the basic reason for its establishment. The objective is to bridge the gaps in tourism studies and research, education, and training between the developed and the developing countries. ITSA and IJTC are value-driven, and a number of years ago we developed a set of values for our association and journal. And as previously mentioned, the objective of ITSA is to bridge the gaps between scholars in the developing and developed countries. We also see it as our goal to bridge the gaps between academics and industry practitioners. We wish to encourage educational excellence in tourism and hospitality, and certainly to promote inclusivity, diversity, and equity by bringing together these groups that we serve, including scholars, researchers, and practitioners. We want to, in everything we do, to not discriminate in any way by gender, race, and ethnicity, national origin, age, sexual preference, income, and education level. We place a high priority in sharing freely information and data with scholars, practitioners, and others. We want to emphasize in what we do the sustainability of all types in tourism and hospitality, and to promote the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. We also want to promote good governance in the tourism and hospitality sector. We advocate transparency and accountability in tourism and hospitality, as well as in our own operations. We emphasize the professional development and research skilling of young and early career scholars. We reach out to countries and regions that are underserved by other associations. We want to lead urban tourism research globally and provide a dialogue platform for research and practice to interact in this context. As mentioned earlier, ITSA was established in Hangzhou, China on August the 15th, 2006. And as you can see in this photograph, there were 17 original founders at the ITSA launching and founding members meeting in Hangzhou. ITSA has an outstanding executive leadership team consisting of 4 people, and we believe that we have diversity in our leadership. However, we have unity in our vision. Our president is Professor Sina van Zyl of the University of South Africa. She is supported by 3 vice presidents, Vanessa Gowrie-Sunker, Alistair Morrison, and Lena Jong. ITSA is very proud of having a journal which is rated Q1 on the Scopus system. The IJTC editorial leadership team consists of 2 people, both coincidentally from the University of Greenwich in London. One of these is Andreas Koka-Stefaniak, Professor Andreas Koka-Stefaniak, as a co-editor-in-chief, and the second person is Alistair Morrison. So we have had that editorial leadership team in place since 2016. And you can see on this slide 2 quotes from our co-editors-in-chief. The International Journal of Tourism Cities, or IJTC, is published by Taylor and Francis, Routledge in the UK. There is a 7-person editorial team. Previously mentioned the 2 editorial co-editors-in-chief. Then we have Connie Loy, Kim Lang Connie Loy, who's the Vice Rector at the Macau University of Tourism and as an Associate Editor, Christina Maxim of the University of West London, Vanessa Gowrie-Sunker of the Indian Institute of Management, Surmar, Blanca Camargo of the University of Monterrey in Mexico, Shem Menji of Kenyatta University in Kenya, and Yu Sandy Shen of California Polytechnic State University. It should have been mentioned from the previous slide that IJT is the only academic journal dedicated exclusively to urban tourism research. Like most organizations today, ITSA and IJTC do much of their communications via social media, and we have an outstanding and proactive social media team consisting of 6 people who are communicating every week on 7 different platforms, which includes, in the English language, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and TriNet, or the Tourism Research Information Network. As we have a great number of members in China, we also communicate in Chinese, mainly via WeChat. So the 6 team members are Vanessa Gowrie-Sunker, Sandy Shen, Shem Menji, Pinas Tiwari, Tingyu Shui, and Rosiana Froyo. In order to fulfill its major objective, ITSA has appointed a number of regional vice presidents, or we call these RVPs. We have regional representation in South America, Canada, the Caribbean, the US, the UK and Ireland, Western Europe, the Baltic states, Central and Eastern Europe, Middle East and North Africa, or MENA, East Africa, Southern Africa, China, India, Indonesia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, Northeast Asia, Central Asia, Australasia, and Oceania. On this slide, you can see 3 of our regional vice presidents, Sarah Joanna Gadotti dos Anjos, who is our Regional Vice President for South America, Professor Gonat Sinclair-Mara, Regional Vice President for the Caribbean, and Mingjae Jesse Gao, who's our Regional Vice President for Canada. Along with our slogan of unity through diversity, here are three of our other RVPs. Jonathan Day, who's the Regional Vice President for the USA, Hughes Seraphine, who's the Regional Vice President for the UK and Ireland, and Claudia Ciabra, who's our Regional Vice President for Western Europe. ITSA's RVPs are located across all continents: Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, South America, and North America. We don't have representation in Antarctica because we couldn't find a penguin who was a tourism specialist. Three more of our RVPs are shown in this slide. Miroslav Vujicic, who's the Regional Vice President for Central and Eastern Europe, Kevin Mearns, who's the Regional Vice President for Southern Africa, and Nirali Shah, who's the Regional Vice President for India. The ITSA and IJTC programs and activities are delivered worldwide through our system of RVPs. Here are three more of our RVPs. Shem Menji, who's our RVP for Eastern Africa, Nimit Chaudhary, who's our Regional Vice President for South Asia, and Devi Kausar, who's our Regional Vice President for Indonesia. ITSA and IJTC engage with their members and others globally, worldwide, through a number of activities that include regional chapters, cooperative research, conferences, webinars, workshops, and other means. And these are three of our other RVPs: David Shehan Ma for China, Cholmu Ku for Northeast Asia, and Jun Wen for Australasia and Oceania. ITSA-IJTC achieves its goals through a combination of global innovation and local creation. These are three more of our RVPs: Gulbaram Kulakmatova, who's our Regional Vice President for Central Asia, based in Kazakhstan, Abhishek Bhatti, who's our Regional Vice President for Southeast Asia, based in Singapore, and Agita Levina, our Regional Vice President for the Baltics, located in Latvia. ITSA-IJTC is multilingual and multidisciplinary. Here you can see two more of our RVPs: Pablo Manzano, who is our RVP for Mexico and Central America, and Devi Kausar, who is our Regional Vice President for the Middle East and North Africa. Also in this slide is the announcement made on September the 18th, 2024, about the new publishing partnership for IJTC with Taylor and Francis. And so we have introduced you to the global reach of ITSA and IJTC through the 19 regional vice presidents in this slide. And one of our other slogans is that we are separated by distance, but connected through commitment to the goal of our association and our journal. Another way for ITSA and IJTC to engage internationally is through various chapters and partnerships that it has. And it has these in 6 regions or individual countries.
The most long-standing of these are the Caribbean Tourism Researchers Network, or CTRN, and ITSA China. More recently, we have added the India chapter at IIM Sirmar, the association with the university in Almaty, Kazakhstan, Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, with Pharaoh's University of Alexandria, Egypt, and with Stupa Indonesia in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. ITSA's main founder was Professor Bihu, or Tiger, Wu from Peking University. And we have the ITSA Founder Center based at Peking University, which is responsible for developing an archive of ITSA's documents, including conference proceedings, research monographs, and other significant materials. The Founder Center also periodically produces white papers and viewpoints on current issues in tourism and collaborates with other partners in arranging events. ITSA has a variety of programs and activities, and together these represent our value proposition. These include our biennial conferences, the ITSA Conference Proceedings Series, the International Journal of Tourism Cities, IJTC, our system of regional vice presidents, or RVPs, ITSA newsletter, which is our twice-a-year newsletter, our website, www.internationaltourismstudies.com, our social media communications, our webinar series, the ITSA Founder Center in Beijing, the Philip Pearce Trinergy program, our special interest groups, or SIGs, and our membership program. And we say that together these unite tourism scholars and practitioners across borders, that is the developing and the developed countries, and the global north and the global south. Here is what we call the ITSA jigsaw of programs and activities, this time translated into Chinese. Welcome. ITSA-IJTC are very proud of the record of having 10 biennial conferences, an unbroken record of 10 biennial conferences between 2006 and 2024. These have all been very high quality events, and we plan to continue in that vein of high quality in terms of scholarship and in terms of networking in the coming years. We also provide information in this presentation on our 5 upcoming conferences for 2024, 2025, and 2026. The 10th ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Riga, Latvia in September 2024. It was a highly successful conference with delegates from more than 20 different countries attending.
My name is Abhishek Bhatti. I'm from the University of Newcastle, Australia, Singapore campus. And here I am in Riga at the ITSA-IJTC conference. I've attended the past 5 conferences, and you know what? I would like to congratulate all the hosts here as well as ITSA-IJTC platform for organizing such a successful conference. For the last 3 days, we as academics had lots of good conversations about research, about some of the current issues in tourism and hospitality, how we can collaborate collaborate using ITSA as a platform on tourism research related matters, and of course looking forward to our events in India and again in China in 2025 and 2026 respectively. So back to you. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Rosa. Here had the first time at Riga to participate to ITSA conference. I suggest to young scholars to participate as well at the conference because it's a great experience and you learn more about the tourism and hospitality industry.
The ninth ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Gran Canaria, Spain in 2022. This was another very successful conference, and it was the first one to be held in mainland Europe. The eighth ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Jakarta, Indonesia in 2020. This was an historic event for us because it was the first hybrid conference that we arranged. And this was because it was in the middle, or I should say the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. The seventh ITSA Biennial Conference was the first one ever held in Africa, and it was held in Tshwane, or Pretoria, South Africa, in 2018. This conference was one of the most successful in the history of ITSA, and there were many attendees from South Africa and from neighboring countries. So we do consider this to be one of our best conferences in our history. The sixth ITSA Biennial Conference was the first one to be held in the United Kingdom, and it was held in Greenwich, London in 2016. Another very successful conference for ITSA. The fifth ITSA Biennial Conference was held in beautiful Perth, Western Australia in 2014. And this was ITSA's first conference to be held in Australia, and a very successful conference, ending with one of the most interesting theme dinners in a cave in a national park. The fourth ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Bali, Indonesia in 2012. This was held at the beautiful campus of what's now called the Bali Tourism Institute. And we had great assistance in terms of planning that conference from the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. Another highly successful conference, beautiful location, and many participants. The third ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Shah Alam, Malaysia in 2010. And this was held in cooperation and in conjunction with the Fourth Malaysian Tourism Outlook Forum. The second ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Shanghai in 2008, and the focus was on mega events and urban tourism. And this was just 2 years before the International Expo was held in Shanghai. There were many people attending the conference, and it was co-organized with East China Normal University and Fudan University, both of Shanghai. The first ITSA Biennial Conference was held in Beijing at Peking University, and it was one of the most successful conferences in our history, also the inaugural conference. And it received quite a bit of financial assistance from the Hangzhou Tourism Commission, and the number of the delegates later traveled to Hangzhou, where ITSA was actually established on August the 6th, 2006. As a result of ITSA's biennial conferences, it has produced a series of conference proceedings, and there are 10 volumes in this series. The series has a serial number that was issued by the British Library, and they are indexed and abstracted by Cabby. In October 2024, ITSA had plans to organize 5 additional conferences, and the first of these was on November 21 to 23, 2024 in Kazakhstan. And the theme of that conference is Sustainable Development of Tourism in Central Asia and its challenges, opportunities, and prospects. And it is being organized by Al-Farabi Kazaki National University. The second conference is planned for February, and this will be on February the 7th to the 9th, 2025 at Amity University, Noida campus. It will be the first ITSA regional conference for Asia, and it brings together scholars, researchers, industry professionals, and students to explore the latest innovations and future trends in tourism and hospitality. Specifically, the sub-themes are sustainable development, regenerative tourism, digital ecosystems, and green investments. In June 2025, ITSA is cooperating with Coimbra University in Portugal to offer DSOTT in its 2025 version. And this is a very unique conference as it brings together science and industry, therefore brings together academics and people from industry practitioners, which is very much one of the values of ITSA, as you previously learned. On December 11th to 13th, 2025, ITSA, together with the Indian Institute of Management, SIRMAR, is arranging the Himalayan International Tourism and Management Conference. The themes of this conference revolve around regenerative tourism, slow tourism, and transformational tourism. In August 2026, marking the 20th anniversary of the establishment of ITSA, the association returns to China to hold the 11th ITSA Biennial Conference in Quanzhou, Fujian Province. That will be from August the 11th to the 14th, 2026. And the theme of that conference is rejuvenating cultural heritage in an artificial intelligence age. One of ITSA's values is to help early career academics, or another name is early career researchers. And we do this through the Philip Pearce Trinergy program, which is dedicated to ITSA's late president, Professor Philip Pearce of James Cook University in Australia. Trinergy, which we call the Power of Three, is available to young scholars as a benefit of membership. And it involves a senior scholar, an intermediate or mid-career scholar, and an early career scholar working together on research that eventually will produce a published journal article. Twice every year, ITSA-IJD produces what's called the ITSA newsletter, and is a highly professional, very well-designed newsletter updating everybody on the news and views from our association and journal. In addition to the biennial and regional conferences organized by our association, ITSA-IJTC has offered a series of webinars since 2020, and these have included, for example, 2 webinars on urban tourism. As a service for members who have a particular interest in certain themes in tourism, ITSA-IJTC operates special interest groups, or SIGs for short. One of these is the SIG on sustainable tourism, which is coordinated by Professor Jonathan Day of Purdue University in the United States. The Special Interest Group, or SIG, on urban tourism research is coordinated by Christina Maxim of the University of West London in the UK. As do most associations, ITSA-IJTC has a membership program, and at the moment, members come from across the globe from Canada to China, and from Saudi Arabia to South Africa. There are many benefits available to the members, and the membership fees are very reasonable, including regular memberships and memberships for students. The ITSA-IJTC website is available at https://intl-tourismstudies.com. That's not International Tourism Studies, but short form INTL tourismstudies.com. And here, of course, we post all the latest news about what's going on in our association and our journal, and report things that are coming up in the near future. The International Tourism Studies Association is very proud of its academic journal, the International Journal of Tourism Cities. As you can see on this diagram in the jigsaw puzzle format, again, there are a number of programs or features of the journal, including its regular issues, which have been from 2015 to 2024, special issues on a variety of topics, research articles, research notes, case studies in city tourism, viewpoints, book reviews, the Urban Tourism Research Hall of Fame, the Urban Tourism Thought Leadership Series, the webinar series, again, the Philip Pierce Trinergy program, and the membership program. The International Journal of Tourism Cities, IJTC for short, is published by Taylor and Francis, Routledge, and it's the only academic journal exclusively dedicated to urban tourism research. It's a peer-reviewed journal, and it provides an international forum for the study of urban tourism and tourism cities. The journal aims to be interdisciplinary in its appreciation of tourism cities and tourism in urban areas. IJTC has had 40 issues from 2015 to November 2024. It's ranked and indexed in a number of different systems, including Scopus. It's on the Emerging Sources Citation Index by Clarivate, and it's on the ABDC Journal Quality List in Australia. It was given a Journal Impact Factor in 2023 from Clarivate of 2.6. It has a Scopus Site Score of 5.5, and most importantly, it has a Q1 ranking on Scopus. There are many countries in which this journal is downloaded, and among those include Indonesia, the UK, China, Malaysia, Australia, and Turkey. IJT is cited many, many times and receives around 300 plus submissions every year. As urban tourism is a very dynamic field, IJTC produces a number of special issues, and these have included special issues on over-tourism, sustainable tourism in cities, smart tourism, communist legacies, dark tourism, walking tourism, CSR and ethics, and new tourism cultures. We also feature a number of regional review series, including ones on Southeast Asia, India, China, and Latin America. These are some interesting quotes from two of our associate editors of IJTC, Dr. Connie Loy of the Macau University of Tourism and Dr. Christina Maxim of the University of West London. And these are four more quotes from the associate editors of IJTC, including Professor Blanca Camargo of the University of Monterrey in Mexico, from Dr. Vanessa Gaurisankar of the Indian Institute of Management, Sirmaur, from Dr. Shem Manji of Kenyatta University in Kenya, and Dr. Yi Sandy Shen of California Polytechnic State University. Here are two more quotes about IJTC from our social media managers, including Dr. Pinaz Tiwari and Ms. Tingyu Shui. Our association and our journal believe that the field of urban tourism research is not given enough recognition and enough research attention. So in 2023, we established the Urban Tourism Research Hall of Fame to recognize the major contributors to urban tourism research in an academic sense. The first group of inductees to the Urban Tourism Research Hall of Fame, there were 7 in 2023, including Deborah Edwards from Australia, Maria Gravari Barbas from France, Stephen Page and Bill Bramwell from the UK, Douglas Pearce from New Zealand, and Christian Rogerson from South Africa. The second batch of outstanding urban tourism scholars was in 2024 and included Andres Coca-Stefaniak of the University of Greenwich in the UK, Michael Hall from New Zealand, Robert Maitland, also from the UK, Christina Maxim, again from the UK, Jane Rogerson from South Africa, Claudia Seabra from Portugal, Melanie Smith, who's based in Hungary, Costa Spiro, based in the USA, Seljan Timur, based in Turkey, and Elisa Zenfeld, based in Australia. In conjunction with the Urban Tourism Research Hall of Fame, IJTC has also introduced the Tourism Thought Leadership Series, and these will appear in future issues of IJTC, and we believe that these produced by top scholars, including our inductees in the Hall of Fame, will be thoughtful, inspiring, and also groundbreaking in urban tourism research. These are the aim and scope of IJTC, as many journals have. There are specific aims that we have and a scope of themes that we accept. And as a reminder of something said earlier, IJT is the only academic journal exclusively dedicated to urban tourism research. IJTC accepts a variety of different types of manuscripts, as you can see from this diagram, and you can see that they include technical papers or research papers, viewpoints, and case studies, conceptual papers, literature review, and we hope to have not only articles and manuscripts produced by academics, but also by leading practitioners in the field of urban tourism. Thank you for reading this overview of ITSA and IJTC and listening to the video There are a variety of different ways that you can contact our association or our journal, and we prefer that you do that online rather than by snail mail. And you can see here the different website addresses and social media platform addresses that we use in our association and journal. Thank you very much again.